What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check it out, Morgan Freeman. Be careful. Be careful, Morgan. Morgan, he been doing some bad stuff. You know, these stars think they all that, and they can just take advantage of women. You can't do that. Can't do that. You almost got caught, but you got away. So check this out. Morgan Freeman storms out on the View. Slams host mid-interview. Slams host mid-interview. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's see what Morgan got to say about this bad boy. Let's check it out.
Movie buff from early childhood. I saw my first movie when I was like 6 years old. It was King Kong.
It's not her fault. It's the period. It's upsetting to watch. Tell you the truth.
It shouldn't be that way because somebody did make money.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you need to know about Morgan Freeman, it is how much he hates being saddled with race-based political viewpoints just because of his skin color. But just 2 weeks ago, The View invited him on the panel, only to do great injustice to his presence on the show in every way possible. First by only having him on for the mere 5 minutes, and then trying to steer the conversation to political waters while talking about his new documentary. Let's just watch and you'll see.
When Morgan Freeman walked off The View, the drama that followed wasn't just about what he said, it was about what they didn't want him to say. And honey, The View showed their true colors. This wasn't just a difference of opinion, it was a masterclass in gaslighting and deflection, with Freeman caught in the middle of their PR circus. The moment Freeman dared to step out of the carefully controlled narrative bubble, the host scrambled like they had just been served the hottest tea. His words weren't just bold, they were a direct hit on the sanitized, glossy image The View has cultivated for years. Freeman exposed the show's unwillingness to dig deep into real, raw conversations about history, race, and accountability, and boy, did they not like that. Immediately after the cameras cut, it became clear the producers were in full damage control mode. Behind the scenes, whispers of, "We'll need to reframe this," and "This wasn't the direction we wanted," filled the studio. On air, the host awkwardly tried to steer the conversation back to safer waters, fumbling through vague statements about diverse perspectives and respecting everyone's opinions. But the audience saw right through it. Social media lit up like fireworks, calling out the hosts for their blatant attempts to muzzle Freeman's message. Viewers were quick to remind everyone that The View has a history of silencing guests who deviate from their script. Let's not forget the countless viral clips of heated arguments, where dissenting voices were either talked over or conveniently misunderstood. Freeman's appearance was no different. It just happened to blow up bigger because, well, it's Morgan Freeman. You don't shush God's voice without consequences.
Hey guys, thank you for watching our videos. If you want to check out our live channel, the Music Recording Network Live, where we dive deeper into videos that we put up and talk about different things that's going on in the world. You can participate in our chat, or you can come on live. You don't even have to show your face. Go to our live channel, subscribe, voice your opinion, because we would like to hear from you and help us come up with solutions. Now, let's continue on with this video.
While Freeman stayed quiet and let the internet do the talking, The View released a boilerplate statement about fostering meaningful dialogue. Meaningful? The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Critics dragged the show for its hypocrisy, pointing out that their idea of dialogue seems to only work when the guests stick to their script. Former staffers even came forward, spilling tea about how producers carefully vet talking points to avoid anything too controversial unless it benefits their ratings. They want drama, but only the kind they can control.
They just couldn't help themselves and used it as an opportunity to make it about race. They thought they were going to be able to bait him in, but Morgan Freeman isn't interested in talking about race or entertaining race baiters. The ladies of the Spew should have done their research before inviting him on the show.
How are we going to get rid of?
Should have done your research. They should have done their research on a lot of people they brought on the show. They just get straight shut down, y'all. Yeah, we don't even know how this show is still on the air.
Connections, baby. It's all about connections. That's crazy.
Say a prayer for anybody watching it, man, in 2024.
Exactly. You're right.
Oh, boy.
Racism and
Stop talking about it.
Oh, man, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Let me go back so y'all can hear this, man. It's very, very important.
One anonymous source revealed. Morgan Freeman exposed them because he wasn't playing by their rules. And that's the truth they couldn't handle. Meanwhile, Freeman's fans rallied behind him. They shared clips of his interview, dissecting every word to highlight how he masterfully exposed the performative nature of these so-called progressive platforms. Morgan Freeman said what needed to be said, and they weren't ready for it, one viral tweet proclaimed. Others mocked the host for their awkward reactions, turning them into memes faster than you can say, "Take a commercial break." But the most damning critique came from viewers who pointed out the irony of The View claiming to represent diverse perspectives while shutting down one of the most respected voices in Hollywood. If Morgan Freeman can't get a word in without being sidelined, what does that say about their commitment to real dialogue? Asked one op-ed, which quickly gained traction. In the days that followed, calls for The View to apologize grew louder. Activists, historians, and everyday viewers demanded accountability, not just for the Freeman incident, but for the show's broader pattern of controlling narratives and avoiding uncomfortable truths. And while the host tried to move on like nothing happened, the internet wasn't letting up. Hashtags like #CancelTheView and #LetMorganSpeak trended for days, with people calling for a complete overhaul of the show's format. Freeman, true to form, didn't get caught up in the noise. His silence spoke louder than their excuses, leaving the world to reflect on why platforms like The View still prioritize optics over substance. The incident became a turning point, sparking debates about the role of media in silencing dissenting voices and the dangers of performative allyship. In the end, The View wasn't just exposed, they were stripped bare. And Morgan Freeman, he walked away untouched, his legacy only growing stronger as he reminded everyone that the truth will always outlast the spin. The cultural landscape, one thing became clear. Morgan Freeman had succeeded in doing what he set out to do, starting a conversation that couldn't be silenced or brushed aside. The ripples of Freeman's words spread far beyond Hollywood and social media. Advocacy groups used the opportunity to amplify their calls for better representation and the inclusion of historically marginalized narratives in both entertainment and education. Universities began planning seminars and workshops inspired by Freeman's critique.
Inviting him on the show.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
I'd love to know what you guys thought of this in the comments below. And if you enjoy this,
And that we just come together and love each other, man. We don't see color.
Facts. Colorblind. That's how
We all bleed the same, man. And I'm wishing not only the best in your life, but your family's life, your kids' kids, the grandkids,
Facts.
future, the next generation, man. I love you guys, man. Like I say, we living in some dark, dark times. We have been declining at a very, very fast rate, man.
A fast rate.
We're divided. I encourage you to spread the love, man, to one another.
Most definitely.
I love y'all, man. God bless all you and your families. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.
With themes like uncovering untold histories and the role of media in shaping identity. Meanwhile, Hollywood was forced to confront its own complicity. Some studios issued vague commitments to diversifying storytelling, but a few independent production houses took it further, announcing plans for documentaries and dramas that would focus on the forgotten contributions of Black soldiers, scientists, and trailblazers in history. Despite the backlash, the producers of The View scrambled to manage their public image. While their initial statement did little to quell criticism, they eventually invited Freeman back for an extended segment, claiming they wanted to give his message the time it deserved. Whether or not Freeman would accept the invitation remained uncertain. True to his nature, he was letting his silence speak volumes, leaving the world to wrestle with the powerful truths he had laid bare. The public, however, was not letting up. The hashtags persisted, and so did the calls for systemic change. Freeman's remarks reignited interest in the importance of media accountability. Podcasts and roundtable discussions dissected the incident, exploring the broader implications for freedom of expression in media. Activists questioned why difficult truths about race, representation, and systemic inequities were still so hard for mainstream platforms to fully engage with. Despite the initial backlash from some quarters, Freeman's core message found fertile ground. Parents began sharing his words with their children, educators incorporated the conversation into lesson plans, and even church sermons echoed the call for confronting uncomfortable truths.
I have so many girlfriends who are highly accomplished, highly educated, great people, and just wonderful women. And the dating pool is absolutely brutal for them.
What are these men looking for?
It is entirely unclear to me that it's like, why are their men not jumping to want to date them? So,
well, Alicia, those are not bizarre and unrealistic expectations, because reality is that ultimately men want to build a family, okay? And most men don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled, demanding, and a pain to deal with. Even different studies would tell you that that's the case. So most of your accomplished and educated friends are very likely to end up with a cat instead of a family, just like Whoopi.
His challenge to tell all the stories resonated deeply in communities that had long felt ignored or misrepresented.
Hold up, man. Did I just see what I think I saw? Hold up, man. We ain't gonna let that slide. Uncle Mike can't let that slide. He said just like Whoopi. That's right. A strong woman is not always a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I got a strong woman over here. Oh my gracious. She wanted to tell me how to do any and everything. Even the stuff she don't know how to do, she want to tell me how to do it. She don't even know nothing about filming and doing the YouTube channel. Tell me when to film and everything. Yeah, that's right. Strong woman. Some women don't even want to know their place. My place is to tell you what to do. Oh my gracious, what happened right here, man? Let's back that thing on up, baby.
Children, educators incorporated the conversation into lesson plans, and even church sermons echoed the call for confronting uncomfortable truths.
I have so many girlfriends who are highly accomplished, highly educated, great people, and just wonderful women. And the dating pool is absolutely brutal for them.
What are these men looking for?
It is entirely unclear to me that it's like, why are their men not jumping to want to date them? So,
well, Alicia, those are not bizarre and unrealistic expectations, because reality is that ultimately men want to build a family, okay? And most men don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled, demanding, and a pain to deal with. Even different studies would tell you that that's the case. So most of your accomplished and educated friends are very likely to end up with a cat instead of a family, just like Whoopi.
His challenge to tell all the stories resonated deeply in communities that had long felt ignored or misrepresented. Freeman's fans rallied to protect his legacy, reminding detractors of his decades-long commitment to using his platform for good. Morgan Freeman isn't just an actor. He's a historian, a storyteller, and a truth teller. One passionate supporter wrote in a blog post that went viral, "We need more people like him to hold up a mirror to society, even if we don't like what we see." In the weeks that followed, news outlets continued to revisit the conversation, debating whether Freeman's words marked a turning point in how media approached representation. Hollywood luminaries stepped forward to share their own experiences with being boxed into stereotypes or denied opportunities. The call to action wasn't just about the industry, though. It was about everyone reflecting on the narratives they consume and perpetuate. For Freeman, the moment wasn't about fame or controversy. As he had said during his appearance, "It's not about me being right. It's about us figuring out how to fix it." His words didn't just resonate, they lingered, forcing people to examine the deeper truths about history, representation, and storytelling. And so, what began as a contentious interview morphed into a cultural reckoning. Morgan Freeman had not just started a conversation, he had fueled a movement. Through his measured words and steadfast conviction, he reminded everyone that the truth is rarely comfortable, but it is always necessary. In the end, the legacy of his appearance on The View wasn't about the applause or the backlash. It was about the undeniable power of truth and its ability to spark change in even the most resistant of places. To spark